Hello folks, welcome to the Malware Monthly for June 2020. This month we're talking about TrickBot staging servers, blockchain malware, and APT using LNK files. So sit back, relax, here comes the facts. New LNK attack tied to Higaisa APT discovered. On May 29th, VideoBytes Labs identified an attack that we believe is part of a new campaign from an advanced persistent threat group known as Higaisa, believed to be tied to the North Korean peninsula. In this latest incident, Higaisa used a malicious shortcut file ultimately responsible for creating a multi-stage attack that consists of several malicious scripts, payloads, and decoy PDF documents. The group's campaign, as we captured it, utilized different types of bait documents, including a CV or resume. However, the malicious email campaign includes a compressed RAR file, which includes a link or LNK files, disguised as the documents the user is expecting. Upon executing these files, a chain of events occurs which leads to both the expected document being loaded, as well as malware being installed on the system. Let's break this down. The threat actors use a malicious LNK file, bundled within an archive file, which was most likely distributed via spear phishing. The LNK files contain a list of commands that will be executed upon running and a blob of base64 encoded compressed code which contains the primary payload. Once one of these files is opened, the file copies content of the LNK file into a newly created .tmp file we'll call LNK copy. Next, the malware copies the contents of the legitimate Windows certificate tool certutil.exe into a new file named gosaya.exe, which it's going to use later. The LNK launches the Windows application findstr.exe against itself. This extracts the base64 blob and writes it to another temporary file we'll call encodedpayload.tmp. Then, using the copied certificate utility, now named gosaya.exe, the contents of encodedpayload.tmp are decoded and written to a new cabinet file we'll call payload.cab, which is then expanded with another Windows application called expand.exe, revealing multiple individual files within payload.cab. The cab file contains a malicious JavaScript we'll call malicious.js, a temporary file containing shellcode we'll call shellcode.tmp, the decoy PDF document, for example the actual resume advertised, and a loader application named svchas.exe. The malware copies shellcode.tmp and malicious.js into the public downloads directory, then opens the decoy PDF document and executes the JavaScript file. The next stage of commands comes from malicious.js. First, it creates a file in public downloads we'll call ipinfo and stores the output of the network configuration utility ipconfig, which includes information about the IP address of the victim system and network information. Next, the script launches the extracted svchas.exe application from the payload.cab file. This file acts as a shellcode loader, which copies the code found in shellcode.tmp to application memory and executes it. To establish persistence on the system, the script copies svchas.exe into the startup directory and renames it as officeupdate.exe. Once complete, it establishes officeupdate.exe as a scheduled task for the system. Lastly, the script sends ipinfo, which includes information about the system IP configuration, to a hard-coded URL. Once executed on restart, svchas.exe, or Office Update as it's now called, will load the shellcode from shellcode.tmp and make HTTPS requests to its command and control server awaiting instructions. At the time of analysis, the command and control servers were down, so we weren't able to clearly identify the ultimate goal of this attack. However, Higaisa was observed and written about by researchers at Anomaly back in March of this year, which was a very similar attack to the one we just described. The goal of that campaign was to infect systems with the PlugX remote access Trojan, which is malware commonly used by China-based threat actors. So the goal of this operation may have been similar, and it makes sense that this group would be trying to launch a Swiss Army knife malware like PlugX, as it would provide the greatest amount of functionality to the attackers in determining who their victim is, what accesses they have, and potentially how and what to disrupt or steal from them. To find links to any of these articles, check the description below. That's it for this month's Malware Monthly. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.